Barnett holding his own in the grappling department. He appears to be a good grappler. His discipline is MMA. And then here comes the teammate of Reha, dropping some heavy leather hammer fists to the back area of Sean Barnett, to the ribs. Now it's a 2-on-1 situation, so even if he was to get the heel hook, he's going to be in trouble here. Now he's got side control, does the teammate of Reha. And with that side control, now Reha's going to measure him, and he's going to just kick those ribs. Left kicks to the ribs and under the arm area there. Now you can see Sean Barnett visually trying to block those kicks, and while he does that, he's getting struck by the teammate, and there's the soccer kick to the head. Quick left-right combination, and you can hear him actually wincing in pain. He's in trouble at this point. And they're going to wave it off. Actually, Sean Barnett's going to wave it off. Now he'll be eliminated.
Hey guys, Fight Commentary Breakdowns, Jerry and Paris. And I've been wanting to bring Coach Paris on to talk about this for a while because, again, there's talk, especially within traditional martial arts, but just in general, people who truthfully say that, look, not all MMA, not all BJJ techniques can be applied on the street, right? On the street, you have to be different. It doesn't mean don't learn jiu-jitsu or don't learn wrestling. It just means on the street, you have to think and modify some of your paradigms. And that's what I wanted to bring Coach Paris on, because Coach Paris was telling me about certain things that he recommends for, street encounters, or, God forbid you get into some kind of, when he's bouncing, let's say someone attacks him or something like that.
Just to start, this is a disclaimer. I hear a lot of people saying, yeah, what happens with multiple people? Your jiu-jitsu doesn't work. That's true and that's not true. So if you're in a one-on-one conflict situation with somebody and somehow for some reason you're on the ground, by all means do some jiu-jitsu, but get back to your feet. Don't, pull guard on them. Now, if you happen to be in guard, do what you got to do. I mean, I know we've seen the video with the kid who choked out the other kid on the street. I mean, these moves are applicable in a real-life situation. However, there are some things I'd recommend. Like, for example, if Jerry's on the ground, head facing that way, this is a very popular technique to do this thing. The problem is with this is, number one, I can't see behind me. Somebody may stomp. I can't even see over here, and I'm very involved in what I'm doing here. All right? So instead, what I recommend is knee on belly. I recommend knee on belly for all things. Now, don't go knee on belly like this, because they can grab your leg, they can punch you in the balls. All right? So, yes, since we talk about the balls technique, this is very exposed right here. The second he goes for a punch or whatever, I'm going to have my hands on here. Boom. Okay, I'm going to attack this way. Now, why is knee on belly so good? Knee on belly is so good because I look around, I can break off immediately. If I'm in mount and he locks up or whatever, and I'm trying to move around, I can't move, and now I'm getting stomped in the head, okay? All right, so we're on our knee on belly. Keep this one nice and wide. Drop those attacks, keep this hand here just to kind of check. Now, let's say that you can get this hand or whatever, push this one down. This is a modified mount. I would definitely recommend this one. Why? Because I can break off, again, very easily, see my surroundings. I can come back over here, right? And again, the same question, we can punch you in the balls. That's when we're here. Now he can't do anything. Now I own him. Elbows, forearms, whatever, okay? Or you can break off, all right? So this, knee on belly, in this kind of mount, I call it a modified mount, right? You just have to be aware of this. And I say, yeah, he might bite you. Well, I'm going to drop my forearms and my elbows. I feel real dirty, I'll headbutt. You know what I mean? Or you got a bunch of stuff here. All right, so another thing you can do, if I'm here, you can do the gift wrap.
Oh, gift wrap.
This is a very good position from here, right? So if I'm in knee on belly, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm on knee on belly and I'm like this, bring it up or whatever, he brings it around somehow, right, he's resisting, you just do this, you can drop your body on, but this one is good. Again, same reason, I look around, I can even see behind me, I can break off
look at that.
if I want to, and again, it's the same old forearm. I always recommend, if you're going to do tactical fighting, palm strikes or forearm, not fists.
The moment you put the knee on belly, I think just by instinct, some people might panic, and they're not going to shrimp, but they're going to do something. They're going to play with the angles.
And they're going to give you something for you to move in, you know what I mean? You can keep flat.
Oh, look at that. Dude, when he puts the shin on my bicep, there's like a pressure point there. It definitely hurts.
And what here is I went from on my toes to just flat.
Yeah, look at that. Ooh, there's a blade. They basically turned that into a blade. It's like, oh, mercy, because if I'm in this submissive position, it's like, oh, what else can he do to me?
Right. The other thing is about this is you can regulate how much pressure you're putting, but also you don't have to hit them. You can just drop this and do the old paper cutter and choke them this way, put them out. Another thing I do not recommend is side control. If I'm in side control, yes, I'm handling him, but then I can't see behind me someone else, right? So the idea here is if I'm on knee on belly, I'm controlling him, boom, and someone else comes around, I can do something else. But you want to be able to stand up quickly, right? And that's another problem. For example, if I have Jerry's back, take it back. This is awesome. Let's do a little sideways, right? You got the jiu-jitsu, you got the hooks in. I'm here. If I need to back off or whatever, he can grab an arm. Now I can't move and I'm getting stomped in the head. Bop, 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 and I'm out, okay? So instead, we're going to do a little combat base. I'm going to go here, and I'm like this. It's the same thing. Oh, shit.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
It's the same thing, except I'm here. I can still get a verified choke in, right? I can go up, do that whole thing. I prefer this one, single. You can also do a single, but you see the same thing. I can look around, I can move.
I see.
Now, if you want, you can stay on the balls of your feet, or you can drop down. But the point is, you can get up and move a lot quicker. You're very mobile. And if you see this sideways, I'm putting my knee into his back.
It doesn't feel good. That little pressure right there doesn't feel good at all.
And people in jiu-jitsu use the combat base all the time. So this is something in jiu-jitsu that you can apply tactically, all right? Don't get your hooks in. They start struggling, you can boom, bop.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, another thing is I would not go for an arm bar. I would not do this in a street fight. If you really need to do an arm bar, you can throw one from here, do a short arm bar if you want. You know what I mean? So the short arm bar. So I'm here, I'm doing this thing, he gives me the arm, I get it, just come around, keep it nice and tight.
Oh, look at this.
And then boom, right? The other thing, everyone always says, oh, just bite your leg. You can do a street arm bar, so 1 and 2.
Oh, look at that. No, it's caught.
All right, go ahead, bite. Right, they can, if you have to. But I don't recommend arm bars. Why? Because if someone's behind me, how fast am I gonna have to get up? Well, I gotta go like this and do this whole thing. Tactically speaking, we're here, gift wrap. Don't worry about the arm bar. Attacks, things like this. And this one is pretty good too. Now you also have an arm crush. If you catch this arm, you can go here. Boom, you can go there.
Kind of like an arm bar too.
Yeah, right. You can do your Americana, you can do your Kimura. You've got options, all right? But you want to kind of put the weight on this one and attack that one if you want to do some locks. Again, though, best thing to do if you don't want to leave too much, damage on the face, just put them to sleep this way. You know what I mean? And if you want to be raw, you can just push on their face.
And the thing I want to say about when you did the gift wrap on me is that it also prevented me from turning. That's what I really like about it. So I couldn't really turn this way.
Right. And so all these moves that we're doing are done normally in jiu-jitsu. There's just different application, and you're kind of being conservative about what positions you're putting yourself in. You used to say I wouldn't do a spider, I wouldn't do lasso, I wouldn't even do single X, which I'm a big fan of, but I wouldn't do that in a tactical situation. But knee on belly, I'm good with, and just protect your balls, bop, that whole thing, and then you just have to deal with this hand. I'll do the little bicep catch here, drop this,
And now it's like, oh,
right, and then if they struggle, it's fine, bop,
boom.
right? And then I'll look around.
And definitely no pulling guard,
Yeah.
which Paris mentioned before.
Right. I mean, if you happen to be on your back, like you slip or something, then you have to deal with it. But get to your feet rather than, trying to get that 10-point jiu-jitsu sweep.
Makes sense. I mean, when I was training in jiu-jitsu pretty intensely back in the day, the coach emphasized open guard a lot because the point is, okay, you're on the ground, let's try to get back up soon, but if he's coming at you, you have to defend against that first before you can get up. So establish the distance. Just for my training, it's like, okay, if you do get pushed on your back, okay, try to get open guard, establish distance, and the moment you have a strike or something, get him in the distance, you get up.
And butterfly guard is great for on your butt, have to get up fast. I can't recommend that enough. Going here and dealing with it this way, it's very easy to get up. This is good to move. You know what I mean? You can keep someone at bay.
Yeah.
So if you're standing up and coming at me,
Yeah.
and I happen to be like on my feet here, I go 1 and stand up. You know what I mean? You can hit that knee, crack,
there.
groin, whatever, and then you can stand up and deal.
Yeah. This was a great explanation and exploration into, okay, how do we modify certain techniques? There's still jiu-jitsu, there's still MMA techniques, but how do you make it so, okay, I'm prepared to immediately deal with other circumstances in the surroundings?
Yeah, and I guess the underlying principle is always be able to break and move around if need be. And it's normal for people, I guess, logically, to want to be able to rely on one philosophy and one thing works, and this is it. So jiu-jitsu either does work or it doesn't. This either does or doesn't. It's not like that. There's a whole bunch of gray area. You can apply things, you can change things, you can modify. Certain things do work, certain things don't. The only real way for anybody to know what works is to try it. Now, I'm not saying get into a street brawl and do this stuff, but I am saying, in a safe, simulated environment, see how fast you can move around. How is this technique applied when something is coming at you, etc. But it's never black and white.
I hope this was a good explanation. Again, this is for the streets. But it's like for the streets, man. It's really for the streets. And he's a bouncer, so he's had to deal with situations, and he's still alive. Thank God. So I think he's a good person, good authority to trust.
There's no silver bullet. I always say the same thing. I've said that in like 4 videos so far. There's no silver bullet. There's no thing that's going to get you out of every situation. You just kind of got to pick and choose and figure it out. And I mean, certain things that work for me may not work for you, but you'll find a modified version.
Cool, guys.
All right.
Fight Commentary Breakdown is out. This will probably come out when I'm in China, or maybe after I get back from China. So if this comes out when I'm in China, thank you guys. See you guys soon. You will probably see the Shootout Don't Fight before you see this video. So leave your comments about the Shootout Don't Fight.
I'm excited.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Double team here. Both men just dropping powerful hammer fists to the body and the head region of the Global Proving Ground fighter. And it looks to me like Sanda LPF is just taking full control of this fight.